Hi, hello, what's up, everybody?
Oh, I don't know why mine didn't unmute. Stupid microphone. Hey, now we're back. Okay. So, everybody, if you're curious, this is Catchy with Jay and Darian. I'm Jay.
I'm Darian.
That's fucking Darian.
Sweet D.
The sweet D.
Anything D. I just don't. I don't like Darian. It's a long, like when I sign my name, any official signature, it's just a D.
You have the greatest subject name ever because it's like Darian Davis. And if you, like, I'm not kidding, you could be a spy, like, with how well planned your name is. Because if someone's like, Darian Davis, I'm going to look this guy up. 40 black people.
That is definitely true. Like, and if you look up Darian Davis, it's usually a black kid who's a cook.
Right?
That's
Close enough, too. They'd be after your ass. They'll be like, Darian Davis owes me money, and they'd be looking for some.
there's some cooking, like he actually has a cooking TV show, and he's some black kid in Africa like has a cooking TV show.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool. I don't have a celebrity counterpart. However, I do share a birthday with Snoop Dogg. You're welcome.
Ooh.
I don't know why. I don't know. So, Darian, I know you said earlier that you have some shit to talk about. Now, I think we should just, before we get into shit to talk about, hopefully unrelated, if related, totally fine, but I think we should start with how was your Christmas?
Minus the shit, the Christmas was actually it was a pretty good Christmas.
That's good.
I, although spent most of my time with sleep deprivation, so I was throwing up almost all Christmas.
Oh,
because when you go so long without
such a
sleep,
common theme.
you just throw up.
Right.
And so that's how I spent the morning of my Christmas, anyways. But other than that, everything was pretty good. I got some cool shit. I got going on a cruise, man.
Oh, you're going on the...
Going on, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that you were going also. You mentioned that last night, that your parents were going. I didn't know that you were. That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
I'm also very soon going on a cruise. The next, week, I think, or so. So,
that soon.
So, today we have a podcast. Next week sometime we'll have a podcast. The week following, however, we will not have a podcast because I will be in the Bahamas. We leave that Sunday and then we come back that Friday, and it's gonna be like Friday night, and you won't want to hear what I have to say when I come back to cold ass Iowa on a Friday night. So we won't have a podcast that week because I will be tanning the whole time, drinking my hand. So I'm pretty
margarita.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So if you get a chance, when's this cruise?
My cruise is the I think we're gonna be on it the 20th through the 29th. So of January.
Oh, of January. So you're not gonna be 21 by then.
No, but I will be 18, which in international waters, 18 is the... I'm 20, so...
Yeah, so that's legit. You can...
Yeah, so in the Cayman Islands and in international water, you can drink. So 18.
I don't know if I recommend this or not, because I'm always on edge about getting screwed. So I would have this feeling that you'd be like, yeah, I'd buy a drink package, and then they'd be like, you're too young to drink, but they'd still take your money. That's how paranoid I am of that stuff. So what I would say is get yourself a drink package, because and here's the thing. Okay, so a drink package, my wife and I think paid for a 5-day cruise, we paid about $200 each. And that was with some deals. Yeah, for a drink package. And it's I would say somewhere around $10 for a good daiquiri. I'm a daiquiri man. I drink my daiquiris. So it's somewhere around like $10. So you get the daiquiris, and then you take that. So the thing is like, you don't know. You have to drink a lot, but it covers soda, bottled water, coffee, drinks, all that jazz.
Right.
They're in tiers, and now they've set it up actually on a drink package that you have to. Fucking muted my mic. God damn it. This is something we're going to be dealing with the entire time. I muted my mic. So one of the things you're going to be worried about for that is you're going to have to spend... you're going to have to worry about how much you're going to have to spend.
Right.
Because everything you spend on the ship does not come from cash. You cannot spend cash. It comes off of the credit card that's attached to the ship. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to just kind of like... let that go and just have a drink pack. I got myself a drink package for this cruise. I didn't the last one. We were worried constantly about how much we were spending on drinks, and I finally demanded that we get one. On top of that, they've changed the rules now where everybody in one room has to have that drink package. If you get a drink package, everyone has to buy a drink package. Not just one person in a room can buy a drink package. Unless there's just one person in that room, but anybody sharing that room.
So you and your wife both had to get a drink package.
Yeah, we had to both. We both had to buy a drink.
Kind of weird.
It was dumb.
Well, because
but at the same time, so here's the thing. My wife was like, "Well, I'll just have you buy me drinks," and I'm like, I didn't know how to explain it to her at the time, but like that adds back to the anxiety of what the drink package was taken away. Now I'm not worrying about money. I'm worried about getting caught, getting my wife drinks.
Yeah.
And that's stressful. Like I stress about those things. So like luckily I'm anxiety free on this trip. It's all gone. The only thing I got to worry about is getting lost. Like, and if I get left behind in the Bahamas.
You haven't, right? I asked the same question. You never went up to New York, right?
No, I've never been.
You will get fucking lost in New York if you get cut off. If you're on a ferry or
Straight
something,
Kevin McAllister.
You're going from like Staten Island to Manhattan.
Staten Island. You've been watching The Office.
I've been watching a lot of The Office. If you go from Staten Island to Manhattan, you go on a ferry and you come across, and if you come back at like 5 in the afternoon, and you get off that fucking ferry, it's fucking packed. Okay, so my entire family was sitting there walking like this, like holding on to hands.
Too. You're a giant.
Yeah, so that was my advantage. I could see over the crowd.
Yeah,
because they're in fucking New York. They're small people.
But the thing about like crowds is people are like, oh, you're big, you can push your way through. Like I'm a big guy, but I'm kind of timid, so I'm just like, boom, sorry, boom, sorry, oh, so sorry.
Motherfucking bitch who had a baby used that as her fucking advantage. She was like. We were walking, and it's this crowd of people, and she takes her cart, and she fucking just right in front of me, cuts me off from the rest of my family. I'm like...
And you can't yell at a mother with a baby.
I couldn't push her over. It was not going to be all right.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, our Iowa politeness is not shared throughout the world. Because, like, so my brother-in-law... he's been on vacation with us a couple of times, and he just constantly has troubles with people because my parents will just kind of like take it until they explode. My brother-in-law just goes straight to like F you. So like he had this Asian gentleman in Hawaii just keep continuously bumping in front of him and shoving him, and finally he just went up to the guy and like shoved the guy, and the guy was like and looked at him, and my brother-in-law goes, "Yeah, try it again." And walked away.
That's awesome.
That's dangerous. You don't know who you're going to tick off. You know, that guy's already shoving you. You know, I don't know. But it worked in my advantage once. Okay. Yeah. So I was in Chicago. I went to Chicago like years ago. I actually got accepted to a film school. The only reason why I didn't go is because it was so expensive. Like they wanted you to live in this high-rise tower for your dorms, and it would just be too much money.
Right.
I had to get a cosigner, and like, you know, cosigning is dangerous. So a lot of people were like, I'm sorry, Like, I know it's your dreams, but... And I'm like, okay. But so I go to Chicago, right? We take my grandma's car, and we park in the only spot we can find downtown Chicago, because that's where the school is to go get the tour. And there's no sign to be seen, at least at human eye level. This thing was at the top of the L. Like, it was way, way up there. There was a tow zone sign. And these guys tow cars like it's not just their living, but their dream. Like, I saw the most
They're
joy.
born to be towed.
Yeah. I've never seen so much joy in anyone's face as I saw some guy towing someone else's car away. Like, he had a big old smile on his face. Like, I'm taking another one. And they're like ninjas. They have these little... So what they are, they have like these tow bars that come out of the back of the truck.
Yeah.
It goes in under the car with just like these two little hooks, lifts it up and goes. And he's just like backing that hook up, like, yeah, I got another one. And I don't know if they get paid by the car. Best driver I've ever seen. They ninja towed our car while I was getting toured in the school. My car was gone forever. It was really sad. It was my grandma's car. So I'm freaking out, and I'm running back into the school in the middle of all this stress. We have no idea where they take cars. This is our first time ever in Chicago. You know, I've never been in a city before. So we start running into the school, and this, the very beautiful girl is walking in, and I just, like my nature here, being an Iowan, I just, boop, here you go.
Open the door.
She stops. She just goes. And then walks in, and I was like, that's the first time a girl has ever looked at me like that before. Like, that I know of.
She's probably thinking you're in for a rude awakening if you're going to be opening doors for people in Chicago.
No, she gave me that look like, damn, boy. Like, what's your number? That type of look. And I was like, son of a bitch. Ran in and still, because I knew it was like of any other time, that would have been great. Like, hi, my name's Jared. You know, but at that time I was like, I have to get this, like, we gotta find my car, my grandma's car. A long story short, turns out that it's quite a process to get someone else's car back when that someone else is even out of state from their home, and it's a Saturday. We had to get a notarized signature from them.
Oh, wow.
We may not have gone through legal processes to get that notarized signature, but we got it.
Wow.
We had to jump through hoops. We were going to, like, spend all this money in Chicago, go to the Improv Olympic, have a great time. We ended up watching Paul Blart Mall Cop and eating, like, in the hotel, and then just eating it Fridays right across from the hotel and going to bed because it was such an exhausting adventure. We did get pizza there from, I don't remember what it's called, it's like Giordano's or something like that. Best pizza I've ever had in my life.
I think sometimes the best vacation is like
whatever
just
goes wrong.
Well, no, like something. All right, I've made up my mind that something has to go wrong every vacation. I shouldn't fucking say that because I'm gonna be out in the middle of the ocean, but something has to go wrong every vacation because last vacation when we went to Manhattan, we got rear-ended, and the vacation before that when we went to Minnesota. We got a flat tire on the way there. And the year before that, my aunt threw up in the back seat for hours on end.
So here's the similarity in all those issues is a car is involved. So the great thing about it is when it comes to a cruise, like when something happens to the boat, that's someone else's problem. Like,
right.
That's the great thing about a cruise. So you do have the risk of like bad food. That's the most common risk.
Hitting an iceberg.
That's not a common risk. That's a legendary risk, but it's not common. But however, like when a cruise happens, you do whatever you want. You have zero worries. Your hotel is paid for, your food is paid for. You can pay for more, you can go to, the sushi places and the steak huts and stuff like that, but you have a buffet and a dinner every single night. Like, you have a 24-hour buffet you can just sit in and just eat. Plus, there's, a fancy dinner every single night. You do that drink package, you don't have to worry about drinks. There's entertainment like 24/7 that you can go to. Like there were stand-up comedians, there were like jugglers, there were a cappella acts. The only thing I didn't like was the musical theater thing because I thought, oh, we're gonna see a musical, and then it was like little bits of musical theater, like it was a cabaret show, and it was just not that impressive. I compared to like the stand-up comedians that were absolutely hilarious.
One did you go on? What cruise line?
Royal Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
We did Alaska for 11 days. So we started in Canada. So this is my first time ever out of the country, and most ironic, the thing I was most excited about was there were ramen noodle shops, like every block, in Canada. But I wanted to go, and we couldn't because my wife does not like.
That seems like a place to go to
Asian
college.
Food.
Is up in Canada where
there's ramen noodle shops. Yeah, but these aren't like 25-cent packages of ramen noodles. You have to spend. It's like restaurant money, ramen noodles. However, American money goes a lot further in Canada for now.
For now.
So that's the great thing. Like I was like, but the currency exchange was the most confusing thing, and my wife and I were like, wait, so how much do I don't? And they're like, oh, it's cool. We'll take care of it. It's like, all right. So we started in Canada, and then we went down through all of the some major Alaskan cities, and my favorite was Icy Strait. Because we went on a bear hike there, and there was a zip line that went like, I think they said it was like as tall as a skyscraper. Like you're like up on like there's like a mountain you start on, and then you go all the way down to ground level.
Okay.
And that I didn't do that because that was like a $200 expense. And again, my wife and I were thinking about money the whole time. If we would do it again, that would have been one of the excursions we would do.
Right.
Is zip line. I think someday we'll probably do another Alaskan cruise because here's the thing. So many people kept saying to me like, Alaska's so beautiful, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not that type of guy. I don't dig beauty. Like I'm not the wake up at sun. Like I'll wake up at sunset and be like, that's a pretty sunset, and then I'll be like, go back to my day. But I don't dig beauty, but I went to Alaska and I'm like, holy shit, this place is beautiful.
Right.
Like it's the most gorgeous. Like there are bald eagles everywhere. I'm never impressed by a bald eagle. I'm that guy that's like, people are like, it's a bald eagle. I'm like, cool, going back to my day. But like there was like freaking like 40 just flying around. I'm like, this is America. This is the most beautiful America I've ever seen. I don't know. It was a blast though. We had a really good time.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
What?
I was just like, we were talking about we got on the cruise thing and then.
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes. All right, let's talk some shit. How about that?
Yeah. So what's this shit?
So, a little bit ago. Well, Sunday when it first snowed. It first snowed on Sunday, right?
Right.
What's going on?
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the thing. Just keep going.
Okay.
Because we're still live.
I'll keep going. Anyway, so Sunday when it snowed, I went to my parents' house, and I got there, and I was just looking at my tires because I had a low tire gauge light going off. And so I was looking at my tires, seeing which one was low, and I noticed that my two front tires, there were wires. It was so bald that the wires were sticking out of the tires.
Oh, wow.
So, I was like, well, it's fucking winter. It's snowing and shit, so we got to get new tires. So I spent Sunday, Christmas Eve, $200 tires. Okay. We get them. Well, we left, we come back with the tires. We had to put them on, take them off of the rim. So we had to find a tire machine. So I didn't have my vehicle for a while. And so I took my key off from my house key and put it on my mom's car keys because I was borrowing hers because I didn't have my vehicle because they were putting tires on it. And so me and Laura were doing all of our stuff, and then I had to work Sunday night. So at like 11 o'clock, I start heading home from hang out with Laura. And I get home. But this key part of this fucking story is I got my car back at like 10 o'clock at night. So I got my car back. I get in my car. We're hanging out and stuff. At 11 o'clock, I start leaving so I can be home by 11:30 and get ready and go to work. And get home. And I go to open the door. My fucking key. I forgot I put it on my mom's key ring.
Oh, shit.
It's 11:30. Like, I'm sitting at home. 11:30, gotta be at work at midnight. Keys off. I'm like, God damn it. So, get in my car. I race all the way to Brooklyn because Laura has a spare key. I get pulled over for going 75 and 55. The lady comes up to my door, knocks. I roll down the window, and she goes, you know, I'm not even going to ask you for your license because you're going to have a $180 ticket if I do. I'm like, yeah. She goes, just be safe.
Oh my God.
I'm like, holy shit. Like, because I was like, oh, fucking, I've been pulled over several times. I don't have the best luck in getting pulled over. And so it usually ends up being a ticket because it's, you know, I'm pretty seductive, but most of the people who pull me over are, I mean, so I can't get out of it because, you know, not everybody wants me. So,
that's a Christmas miracle.
It was a Christmas miracle, but I was like an hour late for work, and
you still have to show up on Christmas and Christmas Eve and shit, right? Like, they still need security.
Yeah, but it's a time and a half.
That's nice.
So that is nice, but we were like, because Come and Go was the only place open on Christmas Eve, and then there was like 2 other places, like in the entire town of Grinnell, 2 other places that had staff. I mean,
right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the shit.
I like ate myself sick on Christmas. Like, here's the thing, and people keep saying like it's because you guys are eating healthier and whatnot, and I guess that's true. But I have stressed the hell out of my body on the holidays. Thanksgiving, I ate so bad. My mother kicked me out of her own house at 9 p.m. because my gas was like the worst. Like, I was like nuclear. She's like, you have to leave. Like, I love you. You're my child. Get out. And so and then Christmas came around, and the same thing. I wasn't gassy, but like my stomach was just ill. I ate one plate. And I was just sick. Now, granted, I grazed on candy the whole day, but still, I used to be able to do this. Like 2 high stack plates, it's gone.
Fucking
lost it.
Pizza Ranch, man. Like, I used to go through Pizza Ranch and just devour everything.
I can't do Pizza Ranch.
And now it's just like 2 pieces of pizza and then potatoes, and that's about it.
However, this is like one of the most exciting Christmases this year. Was the most exciting Christmas because my sister is back in town for the first time in like over 6 years for Christmas. Wow. Her and her big group of kids, and it's kind of funny because like I used to look at snow. I started looking at snow like my dad looked at snow, where I'd be like, wow, because like when I was a kid, I was like, snowman, you know, snow day, yay. My dad's like, nah, I gotta go shovel. Snow sucks. Can't drive in it. People die. And now, you know, I've gotten to that age where I'm like, oh, snow sucks. Can't drive in it. People die. And then I got to this point where I went out with I showed up. It snowed like almost 2 days after my sister had showed up. Yeah, it wasn't Christmas Eve. It was the day before Christmas Eve, I think. I drove over to my parents, and I was like, I went in there, and I looked at my niece and all my nephews, and I was like, get your coats on. We're going outside. We're going to have a snowball fight. And we went out, and it was like looking at snow from fresh eyes again. You know, it was fun. And that's what, like, I realized, like, I'm excited someday to be a dad, so then I can experience things from a youthful eye again.
Right.
But as an adult, like, actually appreciate it. Because, like, I mean, you know, when you're a kid, you're just like, yeah, it was fun. And then you forget about it and just move on.
I think this is just an excuse to eat macaroni, cheese, and cut up hot dogs for, like,
yeah,
8
there
years.
we go. Well, so my sister's, like, this is her new cooking trend, is the Instapot.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pressure cooker that can apparently do, like, 40 different things.
Right.
And
I was just watching an infomercial on it last night.
Yeah, that's all they talk about is the Instapot. I like the Instapot. I think it's really cool, actually. It's got a lot of cool... I'm going to hide this garbage can. Sorry. It's got a lot of cool, like, things about it. Like, we were sauteing onions in it. But it's really funny because it's called an Instapot. My brother-in-law was like, okay, let's get the Instapot ready, okay? It's so cool, all the things you do this. All right, let's saute some onions, put some butter in it. No, don't put the butter in yet. Hang on, I got to push the button. Okay, we got to wait for it to beep. We sit there, it's like beep, and I'm like, okay, and he's like, nope, so it's got to say hot first. Sorry, and I'm like, this thing's called an Instapot. What is going on now? Grant, here's the thing. All right, it is cool. It makes things pretty quick. I just like they have this like level of quality for their food that they live up to, so it takes longer because of the process. So like. We're gonna make tomato soup. Tomato soup takes probably like 15 minutes to make in that Instapot, but also we had to, because they wanted the flavor of the tomatoes, they had to bake the tomatoes in the oven for an extra so much to dehydrate them to shove it into the Instapot. So it ended up being a longer process, and it was really funny because he's like we finally got the tomatoes in there, and he's like, yeah, okay, you can start the grilled cheeses now because we'll probably be done with the soup soon. I made 36 grilled cheeses before they get that soup out. They're like, man, he is fast. Because, I mean, it used to be our job to make grilled cheese. So I was like, I got this little flat griddle. I made 2 at a time. It's like...
You were like, I was like, sit down. Let me show you some shit.
Grilled cheese skills at the ready.
Lunges before you went on. You started...
and what's nice is my parents have this Pampered Chef pan that's it's like one of those round skillets, except for it's flat and square.
Right.
And you pop that sucker down on the grill, and you just start popping grilled cheeses on there. I made so many grilled cheeses. And he was like, holy shit, you made all that grilled cheese before my soup's done. And I'm like, yeah, you're Instapot.
You know where I want, where someday I want to move away, and I want to come back.
Faster than an Instapot. Okay, sorry.
I want to come back to some restaurant, some fancy restaurant. I'll be gone for like 5 years. Come back. I want to see you ending up someplace where it's like, you see like, the Japanese steakhouse things where they're doing all this shit. I want that to be you with grilled cheese and like you're fucking flipping it.
I just dice one up into like squares with a spatula and flick a grilled cheese piece into someone's mouth. That'd be dope. That'd be great.
Like they're tipping you like $20 at a time and everything.
Yeah, they're just he's so cool. I'm
catching it in your hat.
Doing gourmet grilled cheeses like the Sheila, the avocado tomato.
You got like this special skill where you can like twirl your grilled cheese, like the cheese itself, and like make designs out of it. Oh man. An Elsa statue on them.
Elsa statue.
2 layers of bread.
Elsa grilled cheese.
You can't.
Well, so
you can't eat it though because it's frozen.
Here's my dream. I want to make I want a grilled cheese shop, and I want to call it Grilled Cheeses. And I want like one of those brands that like has Jesus's image on the grilled cheese.
That would be awesome.
And then it would be like essentially like a grilled cheese bar. So you pick out like they have for what is that place? The Asian food. Where you put all the food together.
Who hot?
Who hot? It would be like who hot for grilled cheese. You put it together your grilled cheese, and I just make you a fucking grilled cheese.
Wow.
But you could choose what you want, and then I just take the ingredients, cook it up. Because it's that was the one thing. So the deli that we worked at, when I was working there, it kind of almost got to be like a glorified grilled cheese shop.
Yeah.
More people want hot sandwiches. So you make hot sandwiches, you put whatever you want in it. And that's like unfortunately, that's the perfect setting for where I want my grilled cheese shop. So as long as 1854 Deli exists, grilled cheeses cannot. Until grilled cheeses
replace them.
Yeah, if that ever goes down, I'm probably going to be at Craig Cooper's and be like, Coop, I got this idea. It's bomb ass. I'm telling you, just soup and grilled cheese. Because, like, soup is so easy to make. And people are like, what about salads, too? And I'm like, fuck salads!
Until you get to Esther's level where everything was so intricate into the soup. And if you ever watch her make the soups,
it's too much work for soup.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, like, I'd just be like 40 crock pot soups. I've learned from Westside, actually, what's a lot easier to do is you get, like, so you make up a giant pot of soup, right? And then you put them in these little containers. Like, you douse them up into little containers, about 3 ladles each. Mm-hmm. So about 12 ounces of soup to 16 ounces of soup. And then you just freeze up those containers. And then, like, you pull out as many as you'll probably need for a day, so it'll defrost. And you cook it for, like, 4 minutes. Like, you just microwave it for, like, 4 minutes. And people still, like, they're like, this is amazing.
It's fucking awesome.
And that's what I do at home now, too, is because I'm like, I mix, and then I just, like, slowly I stopped collecting them. And then now, oh my God, like, so I'm going to purge. I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to sell them. Hopefully I get a good chunk. If I do, I'm actually planning on hopefully getting some more microphones and a monitor in here, a second monitor. If I can get a DVI monitor, then I can start streaming on Twitch a little more, because it's better to have 2 monitors.
All right.
I want to get a laptop. There's actually a really nice PC on Amazon that's like it's literally 4 times better than my PC now.
Yeah. It's
crazy. So things that I want to do, I can accomplish if I kind of purge my problem, It's been a cathartic experience kind of learning about clearing out these things. So I counted 200 posters yesterday. I had to write all that down. I had to go pull each one out, look at them, write down the condition, put them back in a tube, which is a pain in the ass, by the way, especially not ripping them. So here's the deal, guys. I have like a million people who, like, every time I mention this, they're like, oh, you have posters. Well, I might know somebody who wants to buy them, or I want to buy them. And I'm like, no, I'm selling them whole lot. And they're like, why? And I'm like, the deal is I don't have to pull them out again and risk tearing them as I try and put them back in. Like, the condition can drop again if you try and put it away, because there's just so many chances to rip these posters. Right. So once I sell them whole lot, not my problem anymore. They're gone. I don't want to touch them anymore. I don't want to pull them out. Like, I just want to get rid of them and never have to deal with it again. And people, well, if you want to buy posters by the single, I have to go through every goddamn tube and look. Like, I wrote down what's in each tube, but still you got to pull them out. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah. So I'm not saying, like, I hate you, I'm angry or any of that. Anyone who's offered or wants to, it's just, that's the reason why I'm not going to sell them individually, is it's a pain in the ass.
What if they wanted to buy it randomly? Just give me whatever, just random too.
If someone gave me, I don't know. If someone just gave me a lot, that's the thing. I'm just gonna sell them at one big lot price. There's only one poster that I could easily.
What do you want for them?
I don't know. So I started playing with some numbers, and I think doing the average of what I might get from them, idealistically, it'll be about $1,000.
Shit.
Yeah. So I was looking at wholesale lot prices, and they were looking at about $7.99 for a decent batch. That's $1,600. If I sold them $7.99 a poster, that's like $1,600. That's including the vinyl banners, which I think are worth a lot more. However, going through this process, like, I was like, okay, so idealistically, let's cut myself short, and I dropped it to, and I would say, okay, maybe they'll lowball me. They'll hit me about $1,000. If they offer me $200, like, if this company offers me $200, I'll probably fucking go for it. as long as the shipping's not too much. So
Right.
you know, so it's a big. I don't know. I'm just ready to kind of let it all go. You know, just get rid. You know, I do, the picking and choosing I can't do. Oh shit, we disconnected and reconnected. Oh well. I gotta reset the settings a little bit. I went through recommended settings, which is a beta on this thing, and it like it bumped the settings beyond anything this computer should do. So yeah, that's kind of, I'm not into the whole doing like one or two here or there. Like, I just want to sell all of them and just let it be done. Because that's, I think, a part of the purge as well, is being able to let go, and rather than hanging on to this hubris idea of, like, I can sell each one more here and there. It's just let it all go at once. It's gone. It'll relieve me. It's a lot of work still. But I did that. I played with the microphone, which sounds okay right now. It's not the best, but it sounds okay. And then I also, I was working on something, kind of, because I didn't get my nephew a birthday gift, so I'm kind of working on that for him. So I spent a lot of time working on that. And then my other goal was to get more moons in Mario.
More moons.
Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh.
You collect, so Super Mario 64, you collect stars.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Sunshine, you collect suns. Super Mario Odyssey, you collect moons.
Oh.
So I've been collecting moons like a mad dog. There's 999 moons in this game. I have 180. I'm probably over halfway through the story.
Damn.
Yeah, but this game it's fun. It's really fun. It's just a feel good fun game. So I did that. And then I watched The Misfits yesterday. That was my snow day. That was my perfect. I got things done. I'm an adult now. I do things on my snow days.
Did you do dishes?
I did. After you left, I did.
Do you have a dishwasher?
We do, but we don't use it very often. We like to use it, but we're more like just hand dish, because we try and do our dishes to the point where we don't need the dishwasher. Like, it's a waste to use the dishwasher for that many dishes.
Right. Well, I find it the hardest thing to motivate myself to do dishes. Like, I cleaned the fucking bathroom the other day. I cleaned my room. I don't want to do, like, I just...
So, here's why I'm better at chores now that I'm an adult. And that's because I have, like, someone to hold myself accountable to. This is why I like being an adult, is because, like, I have my wife who wants me to be accountable. So like, I come home and like, if I don't do the dishes, then she'll do the dishes, and then that sucked because it was my job to do the dishes. So now that I'm accountable to when it was just me, like, this is disgusting, but I'm just gonna say it. When I was living by myself, I had this little $300 shanty that I was living in. Basically, it was $300 a month rent. I left a cutting board to soak for so long in my dishes. When I pulled it out, it was like a checkerboard cutting board. When I had pulled it out, it was like all the glue had dissolved inside of it, and all those checkerboard pieces fell apart. That's how long it's soaked in that nasty dishwater. That's how bad I used to be. But now that I'm accountable to someone else, it's a lot easier. Same thing with money. I used to be really bad with money, and now that I'm accountable to someone, I spend way less.
Yeah.
Way less.
Laura walked in the other day, and the first words out of her mouth is, "We're not gonna live like this when we live together."
Yeah. You'll have to be accountable. That's the great thing about my wife being who she is. She kind of holds me together in the sense that she holds me up to a standard, and that's what's nice. She is a better person than me, so I strive to be better like her. She's so organized and she's so smart that there's absolutely no way I can fail as long as I'm following. That's why it's great going on vacation with her, because I don't have to do shit.
Right?
She plans it to the core, and
women, man.
I'm telling you, well, it's not just women, but like organized women, good women. Like my wife's a beast when it comes to just being organized and having her shit together, and it's the way that she was raised, and thank God for that, because I'm not an organized person.
Okay, now I have to ask you this because I'm in this situation. Does that cause problems in the relationship, that her being more organized than you? Like, okay, for instance, Laura and I, like, she has, when there's a month period, she has everything she's gonna do in that entire month planned to the fucking T.
Oh my God.
Like, and so, like, if we're hanging out on Friday, we're hanging out on Friday. She writes it down, hanging out with Darian, kind of stuff. And, me, I, like, day by day, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do the next hour.
This is that idea that opposites attract. You have to. I mean, you do have to work. You have to make it work.
Yeah,
like,
and
you don't just.
And we do, but it causes problems. The fact that she's so organized and I'm so not. There's
times where I look at my wife and I'm like, "You're literally planning to plan right now." She's like, "Okay, we need to sit down. We need to plan this out." And I'm like, "Did you just plan a plan session? Like, you just planned a plan?" And she's like, "Yes, deal with it." And so I think it's this idea that two people. This is the quintessential idealistic concept for opposites attract. Someone who is organized and someone who is chill. Because I spend time trying to relax my wife, and my wife spends time trying to motivate me.
Yeah.
And it is a struggle. You have to make it work, but at the same time, it's a good thing, because like I wouldn't be where I am today without her, and she would probably be at the edge of a building without me. Like she just like sometimes she just stresses out, and it's like stop stressing, enjoy this, take a moment to enjoy this, or let's not do things that is the one problem that like I cannot fix, is my wife cannot sit still. She can't. There's no way. At one point she has to get up and do something. She has to be productive 24/7. Like, if she could be productive in her sleep, she would. Like I and that's one thing was where like I want to sit down and I want to relax, and she's like, I gotta go do the dish. I'll hear her put the dishes away. Just clunk, 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 and I'm like, can you wait? And she's like, no, and goes back to it. I'm just like, man, like I would love to just relax right now. So that is the one downside, is she has trouble just relaxing and taking a beat. But that's one thing, is you have to understand your role in the relationship. One person is definitely always going to be more organized than the other. Mm-hmm. And you gotta look at the blessings of everything, and that's the blessing, I think, and that's why my wife holds me together. Like, and if that could be the fun thing too. Is like, if Laura's gonna be like, oh, I've got this whole month planned out, and then you just throw a wrench in those, like, you throw a wrench and it just, like,
well, it's usually like about the fact that, like, well, because now it's like break for me right now.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of break from college, so all my friends are back, right? And so I'll go so long without seeing them for like a really long time. Now they're back, and so me and Laura will have a plan, like next week or something, to do this someday. And I'm like, and then somebody will say, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I'm like, well, shit. I know that we have. I don't know the plans, because shit just happens. Like, I wake up one day
by day.
I wake up one day and Laura will be like, "Say you're ready to go." I'm like, yeah.
To where?
Yeah, sure. let's do it. Yep, let's go.
I told you this 3 weeks ago.
Get it, put it in the GPS. Let's go. Okay, because I don't know what the fuck we're doing. And that'll be the thing. Is like, whenever one of my buddies want to hang out, you know, and I'm like, let's do it. I haven't seen you in fucking 3 months, you know. And she's like, well, we were gonna go and, you know, do something. Me and Laura usually don't have plans, but to like watch TV together. And so I'm like, all right, if our plans are to watch TV together, I want to go bowling. You can come along too, but I want to go bowling with my buddy, and like, that's usually just the.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't ever fight over it. It's
you'll just run into that.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I mean, I think you just have to kind of go with the flow. The one thing that happens with me a lot more though is finding a balance for what you're going to sacrifice. So, like, you know, you and me are hanging out right now. My wife is at work. You know, I usually try and dedicate my free time to her and then, like, whatever's left after that. And then there was a bit of a struggle with balance there. Like, I used to get in trouble with her, actually, a few times where I would go hang out with my friend in the middle of the night. He ran a movie theater, so at the end of the night, him and I would go and hang out and watch Doctor Who through the middle of the night. Grace would be asleep. So I'm like, oh, you know, perfect compromise. You know, she's sleeping. I'm still spending time with friends. I'm not taking time away from her. But she still sees the sleeping and cuddling thing as time together.
Right.
So that frustrates her. And the funniest, most terrifying day was the day that I got home from his place at like 7 a.m. And as I went to open the door, she opened it to leave for work. And the look on her face was, she was like, I'm going to eat your soul. That type of like, you're coming home now? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, what have you been doing? I'm like, we watched Doctor Who. Same thing we do every time we binge Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. We would hang out like once a month. So now it's like trying to find that balance. You give up some things, I think, to know you're going to spend time with this person. I'm still struggling on, like, you know, the stand-up. Like, I want to go do stand-up on Tuesdays. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Yeah. I did some stand-up couple weeks back. Not a couple months. Way months back. Sorry. Oh. I'm awake. I swear. I did some stand-up comedy at a place called Lefties in Des Moines. And something inside of me was like, you know, we were about to go to Hawaii, and something inside of me was like, you need to go and do this at least once, because you could die on that airplane. And I was like, okay. So I went and I did it, and it worked out really, really well. But it's like every Tuesday I kind of want to go, because I have Tuesday nights off, but it's still kind of a hassle to go to, like, you know, you have to drive all the way to Des Moines. You
should just think of it as the way you thought of it before, you know, just every day you wake up, I could die today, let's just go fucking do something.
Yeah, but that only works so often as a motivational tool. Like, you're going to get complacent at a certain point in life. Like, I could die today. That's why I'm going to sit down and eat these Cheetos. Like, you know, like, it's easier to be lazy than to go out and... Because then you're like, I enjoy this moment where I get to be by myself. Because that's the other thing, is you want to enjoy some alone time. That was the great thing about my snow day yesterday. My wife had to work till 7. She was at work till like 7:30, 7:45. I spent all that time just sitting around doing stuff by myself. You know, it's just peaceful. It's nice. And her and I talked about that. She has that too, where, you know, if I'm at work, you know, that's when she can get a lot more done. It's when she's working by herself on something, you know. So that was kind of the nice thing, but it's hard. It's hard to just want to get up and go do things, you know. Life is hard.
In the beginning stages of your relationship, was it like you wanted to, like, because, you know, you said how you can do more by yourself, but like in the beginning you're like flirting with this whole idea of like, oh, let's just do things together kind of thing, and then you realize, like, fuck this, we gotta just step back for a minute. You
have to find what works for you and what works for her and what works for both of you. You know, there's things like my wife she could watch Say Yes to the Dress all day long. That's when I bust my switch out. You know, like, you know, she could do this or that all day long. You know, but there's things we like to do together. Also, you know, we will go out to like Iowa City or to like I think both of our favorite store is Kohl's. I think we both did Kohl's.
Yeah.
Kohl's is the jam.
I remember one time we were going to Coralville, and Lara was calling her mom to tell her that she was going to be home soon. And she goes, yeah, we're going to be home. And I hear something, and she goes, well, we're leaving from Cedar Rapids right now. And the fucking loudness that her mom shoots, like, because she thinks we're in Coralville. Laura says we're coming home from Cedar Rapids. Her mom, all over the phone. I'm sitting here just driving. I'm like, turn the radio down. I'm like, I'm sorry. We're not in Cedar Rapids though. We're in Coralville. And Laura's like, oh fuck. She knew because her mom was pissed. She's like, oh, we're in Coralville. And it was like a whole just intense.
My dad would have been like, you're out of the state, or you're out of the town area. Like, how did you find your way? Because we used to get lost like all the time. Thank God for GPS. No, because I still get lost from time to time. I got lost in Brooklyn once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, took a wrong turn by my grandma's. Ended up out by Manass, like trucking area, and I'm just like, where am I? And I had to drive around for a while, and then I finally found my way back. If I remember right, actually, that was in the middle of a tornado too. Like a tornado siren was going off.
So then it was even worse because you were sitting there freaking out like this is about to be a tornado to sweep you up, and while you're lost and shit, and nobody will ever find your body again. And
that's a lot of deep stuff. And I was just like, oh, where am I going? Where am I going? The person in the car with me was having a heart attack. Because she was like, we're going to die. I was like, it's going to, we'll be fine. I was like, we'll get there. You know, we got over to my grandma's, and they're like, where have you been? And I was like, I don't know. I found my way, though.
What do you mean you don't know? There's 5 houses in this goddamn town.
Yeah. It's like 6 streets. What are you doing? Touring the mall. Like, yeah. My dad always said you'd have to get us like a map to cross the street, you know. We're just really bad. Me and my sisters were bad with directions. We're so bad. We're so bad. Yeah. So yeah, Christmas. Yeah, I would say it seems like we both had a pretty good Christmas.
Yeah.
Sounds like we were both pretty sick though.
Just sleep deprivation, man, gets me.
I don't.
What happens is a minute to 8 and people don't get that. Like, they still don't get it yet. So they'll be texting me, and like throughout all hours of the day, like fucking Laura will call me 17 times at like 10 in the morning. And that's my prime time of sleep because I get home at 8, go to bed around 8:30 or 9. So 10, 11, 12, that's like where I start to conk out, and people will be calling me, texting me and shit, and I'm like, okay, and then I end up waking up like 5 hours earlier than I wanted to, and I'm like, I just get up for the day, and we start doing stuff that people want me to do with them, and I get home, and I'm like, I gotta go to work, and I've been up. It's just like...
Yeah, the overnight stuff is really, really hard, I think. I've never actually been able to work overnight. I tried working at a hotel once. There was this overnight shift I was applying for. Looked really easy. My brother-in-law was doing it too, and he was kind of showing me the ropes. A lot of time he would just sit there, eat soup, and watch Cartoon Network. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. However, I got beat out by a girl named Lala for the position.
Lala.
Her real name was Eulalia. And I was like... I looked at that owner. I'm like, you're an idiot. And I walked away. It's like they hired a girl named Eulalia, Lala, before me. And guess what? Lala didn't work out. No. No.
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, yeah. Wonder why? I don't know. So I was gonna try the overnight thing, and it just never happened. But that's kind of good for me because I run on sleep. Like I get my sleep.
Well, it works for me until busy season, and we are dead. Like, this is the busiest time of everybody's lives.
Yeah.
So now I'm fucking just like, because in November I was running smooth all of November. I was like, I was doing my thing, and then all of a sudden in December it's boom, busy as shit.
November was probably the worst time for me because from November through this Christmas season, I've been running constantly. Girl got let go from work. I covered her shifts. Then it got to the holiday season. I was covering extra shifts. And then we started working on my parents' house. And then on top of that, I was trying to do other things. And now it's finally like, so we have a week. We have this whole week's been great. And then next week, and then I'm on a cruise, and then I get back. And then I can just start focusing on things like this. Focus on this. I can focus on there's a docu-vlog series we're working on about Blue Point Cemetery. So we're gonna film some on New Year's Day, but also we can start kicking that up again more often.
Who's doing this?
It's me, Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell is a guy in town. He's known as That Drone Guy. That's his YouTube tag, I think. And then he also that's what he does. He has a drone. And so Sam's got a lot of video equipment. He also does like a lot of video work for his job now. And then Ryan McGaffey, if you ever noticed the guy riding around on a bicycle almost all time of the year except for when it snows. That's Ryan. Ryan has been visiting a bunch of cemeteries. That was kind of his hobby for a while. He's going from cemetery to cemetery, kind of checking them out, learning about the history of them. And he found this really cool thing from J.B. Grinnell, the founder of Grinnell. And it mentioned in there the celebrated Blue Point War below Grinnell. So we started looking into it. We've actually found some really interesting, because we were like, that sounds like Blue Point, what's up with that? And Ryan went and checked out the names that he mentioned in that of people who had passed away in the celebrated Blue Point War, and a lot of those names are at Blue Point Cemetery. So I'm like, we should do a series, something that's like a mix of like educational and just kind of like, I do want to still go out and do like a few like, what's, ghosts and stuff, talk about the lore, talk about that stuff, but also talk about like what this celebrated Blue Point War is, what it has to do with Blue Point Cemetery, how that all ties together. And that's just kind of the touch on it. And then we're actually filming the church out at the 4-H grounds is actually the church from Blue Point Cemetery. So we just got permission on New Year's Day to go in and film there.
Nice.
So we're just going to go in and we're going to film a couple interviews, stuff like that, just to kind of kick everything off. Sam's going to do the editing. Ryan's kind of our research guy. I'm just trying to keep everything together, keep it all scheduled, work on it. So that's the first thing I want to work on. I also want to work on a series where we interview all sorts of people around Grinnell and talk to them about their talk about how they impact Grinnell, what their story is, and where they came from. Maybe like the faces of Grinnell or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. There's all sorts of projects I want to work on.
What's his name? Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby's always the first name that pops up. Because Crosby has an interesting story too. He's really cool. There's also this lady that comes into Westside all the time. Her name's Dorothy. She's one I want to do it on because she's got a really cool story. And just like the faces that you see everywhere and talk to them and figure out their, find out their story. I really want to talk to Sam Cox at the coffee shop.
She moved. She didn't move, but
she opened up.
I am never going to be able to get rid of her because she's everywhere I'm going to go. I firmly believe that she's going to open up some sort of...
She's going to follow you.
corner barista every place I ever get a job.
Yeah, so this is the funniest thing. So the last time I went to the coffee shop, this was my interaction with Sam. Sam, can I get a cocoa? Jared, I hate you.
Why?
She hates making cocoa.
Oh.
She hates because she says it's such a pain in the ass to make this hot chocolate. So she hates me for how much I love her hot chocolate. But
Did you get a Mexican hot chocolate or just a regular one?
I got a regular. I'm not digging the Mexican anymore.
Kid, what? That was like that. I remember when we opened up and we wanted to try the coffee shop.
Yeah.
And so you got a Mexican hot chocolate, and then I got a Mexican hot chocolate, and my day was just good.
It was so good.
And it was strong too. Like I was
think the last
jittery.
person who made me Mexican hot chocolate though didn't do a good job.
Yeah.
And if that's the strategy. I told Sam. I said, Sam, if you weren't so goddamn good at making this hot cocoa, and she goes, yeah, whatever, you know. She was so. She hates it. She hates making that hot chocolate, but I'll tell you what, it's fucking delicious.
You know what? I think the deli's downfall is gonna be is the fact that they can't make food as good as we could make food.
I don't know. So from what I heard now, what's going on is they're actually buying out. So Todd and Shannon are actually buying out Craig Cooper's portion. So they must be doing very well that they can just buy out their portion of the business and then own it 100%. I do think the big problem, and I agree with Todd, was they were paying a manager. You know, it was too much of a cost, and so now they're making money. The food quality, I haven't been there. Like the only person that's ever made me a sandwich out of there since me is you. Like, you're the only person. So I don't know what their food quality is like. I don't pay attention too often anymore. I'm super not impressed with
I'm
the soups.
actually going to go and try it today.
That's a good idea. I'm just not impressed. Like, their soups don't impress me anymore. I'm sorry. Like, I love you, Esther. You're the sweetest lady in the world. I loved your soups. It just doesn't drive me to go buy that. It just kind of turns me around. Because I'm like, taco soup? I don't really want taco soup. Oh, vegetable soup?
What you are always looking for is tomato soup and a grilled cheese.
Yes! I think they should have tomato soup on hand 24/7.
You wouldn't come in once you left, and I remember you would always text me, hey, what's the soup?
Right? Well, okay.
I'm going to stop by for a grilled cheese and some tomato soup.
There's one other soup that'll drive me there, but not anymore since I tried it, and that's the Hungarian mushroom. Because the way we used to make the Hungarian mushroom, that stuff was the bomb diggity. That was some good fucking soup.
Then it changed. And
now they basically purify it to like a lick, and it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
They add so much milk to it that it just tastes like milk and mushrooms.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of that soup. However, I have been kind of hankering for a Milan.
Yeah?
Yeah, kind of hankering for a Milan. I've made the Oracle myself quite a few times, so I don't need that. Chicken salad. Yeah.
It wasn't great.
It's good. It's good chicken salad, just not enough to drive me in. Also, West Side's chicken salad is like...
Everybody said that, I don't know. I'm glad we got rid of the pulled pork because that was just...
It was a pain in the ass, but man, was it delicious. Yeah. But you can go over to Dayton's and get that anytime. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to get the pork carnitas from Martin Brothers. That's good stuff. Like, that was good.
Wasn't the potato salad, that was your doing, right?
Yeah, that's my mother-in-law's recipe, mixed with a little bit of my own flavor. You know, all that stuff.
The J-Flav.
All that stuff, the J-Flav.
You're that guy.
Yeah, the salt guy.
The salt guy.
All that stuff I know how to make. I still actually have listings of everything in an email. I sent Todd probably 3 or 4 emails, maybe 5, of everything that of all the how to make everything. I had opening and closing procedures as well.
Which, by the way, when you left, he fucking scrapped the book and he made it a horrible process. Everything was just horrible.
Well,
like the way.
That was, I mean, the good thing is he was finally doing things himself, because I think that had to be, you know, that's the problem is you have the guy that runs the place 24/7, okay, and then you want to implement your take on it. I had a lot of problems taking criticism and stuff from him because I was the one there 24/7, and he would work maybe 3 days a month. You know, and that to me was a problem, and that is a problem from owner to manager. And I think giving Todd more time and experience there is a better idea, and for him to work over the process and figure out what works for him and not. Because if he's going to run the place, it's got to work for him. It was just a pain in the ass for me because I was like, running the show, and then I leave for a week. I come back, and everything's like, I was like, like I hated it. So I don't, like, to be honest, I hold a lot less grudge there because I get it. But at the same time, like, I miss, like, the specials. I miss the soups. You know, I miss just making sandwiches every day. Like, that's my dream, I think. I think I'm a natural Homer Simpson. Like, if I could make money for being Homer Simpson, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss just playing whatever music I wanted to. Just, like, have it going on. I'd be rocking out and be singing to myself and shit. And then
Right.
people would walk through and be like, what?
I just own it. They walk in, like, can I make you a sandwich? You know, like, you want that guy to make you a sandwich. Someone who's having a good time, someone who's smiling, you know. So I had a lot of fun at that job. I made some good money. I did some good stuff. And that's not to knock my job now. I have a lot of fun at my job now. I love the people I work with. It's a little harder, you know, to wake up and go and do it when you're not, like, yeah, there's something fulfilling about, like, making this whole process and watching it come to life, and then having people like, oh, this is really great, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. I have probably the most relaxing position. I go in, I do some prep, I make sandwiches, you know, make people dinner and stuff, and then, you know, at night I come in and I just hand them their food. Take their order, I hand them their food.
See, when I worked
less stressful.
When I worked at Denny's was kind of a different situation than I'm assuming West Side is, because I'm assuming West Side's food is a lot more homemade quality to it.
What's not homemade is like really high quality. Like, they spend a lot of time putting in effort to figure out what's good and what's not. Like, so they're like, most of their appetizers are not homemade, but they're really good appetizers. Like, I've got so many people that's like, are your onion rings homemade? It's like, no, but they're really good. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're lost. You know? Like, you're missing out on some damn good onion rings.
Yeah. Well, at Denny's, it was always just this fast process. I always worked the meat and the fryer. So I'd always be doing. The bad thing about that is you are, like, in the middle of the kitchen. So that means if somebody has to leave their station, I would be the guy to back up their station while I was working my station and the other station. And then, you know, so I'd always be that guy. And but I just remember there was this old guy. He was probably, I want to say he was like 60, 62 or something. And he goes in there, he gets hired, and he's just fucking insane. Like, insane. He's an insane. He turns on Marilyn Manson and, like, Eminem and shit as loud as he can, and he's rocking the fuck out. Like, I remember Marilyn Manson, he had a knife in his hand.
She wants name brand here and store brand there. And then I'm the opposite. So sometimes we'll argue over what. But it's like, we're both get in, get out. And when you're both that way, you really both don't need to be there because the second person's going to be bored. Mm-hmm. And my wife is just a beat or 7 faster than me. It's the truth. Like, she's like, out. Self-checkout. Bag myself because I used to be a bagger. She like,